Hello there. Today is the day we're gonna sort this out. This being my Millsbow cabinet. I have been talking about it for a while now, but I'm pretty sure the lights I have in there, specifically these fluorescent ones at the top, are too dim. I think it's been causing a lot of my alocasias, specifically in some of my anthuriums, to get a bit leggy. It's not been ideal. I'd much rather have something a little bit better in there. And I don't know, they're fluorescent bulbs, and I've had them for like 6 years at this point since I put this cabinet together. And so I'm surprised they haven't gone out at this point because they are on all day, every day. I don't know, but I got some new grow lights in here. These are the Plant Spectrum 16 grow lights from Mother. I've got several of those that I'm going to be replacing the fluorescents with, as well as probably the little Barinas in there as well. I also got some clear acrylic shelves. Actually off of Amazon. Weird, I know. In the UK, there isn't really any sort of seller that makes these lovely clear shelves. In the US, there's Modern Aqua and I think Madwoods. And in the EU, there's Plant Scraper, but nothing in the UK. So if anyone wants to get on that, if you have plastic laser cutting abilities, might be worth it. There's a gap in the market in the UK specifically. But I was able to find some on Amazon for not very much money, like 84 pounds, which isn't crazy. It actually came with 3 shelves, a normal Millsbow shelf size, a horseshoe one that'll go at the back like that. And I haven't taken the protective stuff off of this one because I'm not sure whether or not I want to use it, but a diagonal one that you can use as well. This one I'm not sure because I don't know if I will need it, but the 3 of those for 80 pounds is not a bad deal at all. So I figure we can do this together and I can talk you through everything and talk you through why I'm making these changes and whatnot as well, and just have a chill time together. Before we get into that though, I want to say if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanting content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanting journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos and subscribe to my channel. If you are not new here, welcome back. I really appreciate you returning. Now let's have a look in the cabinet. I've had in here for a very, very long time, and I think it's just time to retire them. I don't need fluorescent grow lights. An LED would do a whole heck of a lot better and would probably provide me better light for these plants. Actually, let me do a proper scientific test. Let me pull out my light meter and I can show you the actual light these things are getting. But you can tell they just get a bit leggy in here. All of these things, they could use brighter and I think they'd be much, much happier for it. So if I put this in here, not very far, 6 inches from the light, it gets me all of 2,700 lux, which is really not very bright. That is medium indirect light. And for these plants that I have in my cabinet, I want them to be lovely, nice. I just want them to be really lovely and bright and get enough light. See, even down here, 1,300, that is just not enough. So putting the Mother lights in here I think is going to drastically help. I've also quite liked having this grid on the back because I've liked being able to put things like this shelf in here or little things on hooks. I've liked that, and I have seen you can get acrylic pegboards, which I think would look really good. I unfortunately couldn't find them in the UK available. The shop I got my shelves from doesn't sell them, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to get that. But I think if I put my horseshoe shelf up here instead, it can kind of provide the same vibe without hanging stuff on the back. I am gonna keep my fans in here. I have this one, and I actually took one out ages ago at on the bottom shelf, so I will be putting that back in because I think airflow is super important in a cabinet, especially when you are keeping the humidity quite high. You can see in here it's 62%. but like the regular high is between this and 92. It gets quite humid in here on the regular, and so airflow is super important to make sure things don't mold or rot or I have fungal issues or anything like that. And so if I have one fan there and I can maybe put another one on one of those corners, that will be quite useful. I'll talk about this shelf in a little bit once I take these plants out because it'll be better to show you then. I have liked it, but there are some things I would change with it. Down in the bottom here, I do have a couple of acrylic shelves already. These ones are from Modern Aqua that I brought back for me from the States. And these I do think I might keep in here, but I'm going to change out these Barina lights as well. I think having shelves like this with a grow light on the shelf has been really, really useful for these plants because it's allowed them to get much better light. Like just looking at light here, already you can tell that it's so much brighter, and so for all of these like smaller sort of plants it's been really useful to have that. But these guys, while they're cheap and cheerful, they are not water resistant. They are not the best sort of long-term solution, and also selfishly for filming, they do this weird banding thing when I film on my phone. I'll pop a video on the screen of it, but it does this weird banding thing and it makes it harder for me to film in here, which is like kind of my main job. So for the sake of videos, these don't cut it, even though they are providing pretty okay light in here for the plants. So I guess the next step is taking all of these plants out of the cabinet, and I'm actually going to put them in the kitchen because otherwise Cosmo will get into them, and I don't know exactly how long I'm going to be doing this. So I'm going to chuck them all in the kitchen for now so I can close that door and we can get into cleaning this up and remodeling it. Baby, come on, out please. Thank you. We've got it empty. And the thing is, I really loved this shelf. I loved that it said good growing on it and it was custom. It is just a metal shelf with slat holes so you can get airflow through, but as you can see, it just like chips loads. And like the paint is coming off, and I know I could respray paint it, but it was just getting really, I don't think it's meant for long-term use in a cabinet, like where plants are and like pots are moving on here all the time and like scratching it. So while it was really good and I liked having it long-term, it's not my favorite. That being said, I also don't think the person who made this makes shelves anymore, so it doesn't really matter. Even if you wanted one, you can't get it. Cosmo, down please. Down please. So I guess I just now take all of this stuff out. And I don't think I'm gonna get rid of things like this wire mesh. I think it could be useful somehow, or if I really don't like this system, I want to be able to put it back. I don't think that'll be the case, but like just in case, I'd rather keep hold of these kind of things and be able to use them again in the future, or in like a different setup, I could probably like attach this to the wall and hang a bunch of small plants on it. There's like possibilities with this that I could use for planty things. And I just had that magneted. Oh, if I can get these off. Magneted to the top with these little hooks. Which were fantastic, actually. I really loved these. The main thing I definitely need to do is take the doors off, because that is how I have all of my cabinet wired. I never drilled a hole into it or anything. I know a lot of people do that. I don't particularly want to. Maybe one day, because it would probably look nicer with all the wires like going down the back corner here all the way and like down and out through a hole. That would probably look fantastic. But so far I've had it like this for years, and while the door does make that squeaky noise, it still works. Like all of these cables still work. And like I know they're pinching them like ever so slightly, but it's never really been an issue, so I'm kind of not worried. But that's the door that I need to take off to get to all the wires. And I guess we can just take that off. Yeah, see, there's like really old fluorescent bulb in here. Crazy. Yeah, I definitely don't need this anymore, that's for sure. And I can take these off because that's not how I'm going to attach them anymore. I haven't had any failures so far with the command strips. Actually, maybe I've had like a handful in the, like I said, 6 years I've had this cabinet. I might have had the lights fall down once or twice, but it was never due to like the stickiness of the command strip. It was just that like I probably knocked the Velcro and it like unstuck or something. So not really had any problem with that. Oh, it's a bit dusty up there, so I should definitely give things a bit of a clean for sure. Again, just the fluorescent. And I think I'm gonna electronic waste those because I really don't need those bulbs anymore. I've had those for so long. I don't need them. They're not actually doing much to benefit my plants anymore. Whoa, shelf out. My plan was to put this clear shelf in where that one was, so it's clear and it lets more light through. That's another benefit of these acrylic shelves, is light can get through them. And then, whoop, maybe that height. Ooh, yeah, probably that height. I can put this little horseshoe shelf and then I can have plants at the top here. And I think I'm gonna do 2 grow lights, one at the front, one at the back. And so these things can get nice bright light. And I can always turn one off at a time if I feel like things are getting too much light as well. And then I'm going to keep these bottom shelves down here in, but change the grow lights on these as well. So it'll be all like homogeneous and look the same with the exact same light in it, because I think that makes a massive difference. But I want to give this thing like a thorough clean. And I know I've cleaned the cabinet several times recently. I had thrips on my plants in here, so I did whole clean out, I think twice over on my Patreon. So my patrons know that I've cleaned it out, but I think I just want to give it a huge wipe down, get all the way down, because I do have some like watermarks where the shelves were sitting. So getting in there and really giving it a nice thorough scrub will be nice. So I'll take these out and we can like do a huge full clean. And even though I'm not going to be using these now, I will hold on to these for future projects because they're still fine. They're just not perfect for me in the cabinet. The one thing I don't have, which is kind of annoying, so I'm gonna have to go out and get it, but I don't have any more of the little tiny screws, these guys that hold the shelf things on to the back there. I don't have any more of those. I was able to find more of these. I had them up in the loft with my spare glass shelves that originally came with the cabinet. I'm obviously not using the glass shelves anymore, but I still have them. I'm not gonna get rid of them. But I found the little plastic bits, but not these screws. So I am gonna have to go out and find some. I can go to the hardware store. There's one just down the street, so it's not that bad, but I will have to get more of these little guys in order to put more in to actually put the shelves in. Hiya, do you have any screws that look like that? Preferably the big one, but success! Alrighty, it's time to get stuff put back in. Probably putting these guys back first, the small ones, and then installing the new ones. Oh, the grow lights is the question, because these shelves, I really like this about these and the ones I got. They have little divots here, which is super great for wiring your, like, any sort of wires. So on one of these, I want to attach a grow light. Don't know if I'm gonna need to wire it. I'm just gonna assume I don't need to. Is that a bad assumption? Maybe, but we're just gonna vibe it. Now it's time to pop in the grow lights. Mother, the grow light company, very kindly gifted me 4 of these Plant Spectrum 16 grow lights for this project. What sets these lights apart is their uncompromising commitment to safety. They have entirely waterproof housing and a safe 24-volt adapter, and this is a crucial yet expensive component that many brands skip as a cost-saving shortcut. But when it comes to environments like cabinets where the humidity is often really high, you simply don't want to risk unsafe appliances near that water and moisture. I'm also obsessed of the output of these lights. It's a really natural sunlight vibe, which makes greens look vibrant and true to life, which I personally really love for filming. But even if I wasn't filming, it makes the plants look so nice. For these bottom shelves, I've just used a cable tie to attach the light itself to the shelf. I find this is a really secure way to attach grow lights if your shelves have air holes in them like mine do. Cosmos decided he wants to take up residence in the cabinet, but I thought I would pull out my light meter now so I can like see the difference it's gonna make. And so 6 inches away from this guy, 6,800 lux, which is like triple what the lights were before. So I think my plants are gonna be so much happier. And like, I love the neutral light these put out. Like, oh, they're just so nice. Like, if you can afford to splurge on some grow lights or like ask for them for a gift or something, I highly recommend these. They are just like the nicest looking and probably the safest grow lights for a cabinet. Okay, I don't think we're technically meant to have kitty cats in there, are we? Other thing that I wanted to put back was this guy. Pop a fan in here. And technically, it has a magnet. Let me see if I have the other side of this magnet. So it's like, it's not the strongest, but that actually does magnet through there. It probably would be better long-term to mount it slightly differently. I am actually gonna turn these off for right now because I think the lighting's slightly more even with them not plugged in. The only downside I have is with the 6 gang smart power strip, the like plug faces the wrong way and actually like deactivates essentially, or like makes it impossible to use any of these bottom ones. So I don't think I can fit 4 grow lights on these, and these are not daisy chainable. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but it does have the USB things here, and the fans I have in my cabinet are USB. So I could just use the USB to plug the fans in. Before I had them in, or I had the one in there in one of these USB blocks, but I can just put it in the USB section. I did previously have if I can put that this way, I did previously have one of these. Does that work? Yeah, okay. I had a 4-gang with USBs. The USB ended up conking out on, but for now that should work, so that's fine. I guess we will do that. Let me see if I can figure out a way, because having the airflow in here would be nice. If this was on, would it be moving is the question. It's not weak enough to like rattle it about when the fan is on, so purely for the sake of airflow, this might be a temporary solution until I figure out something better, but that magnet does work. It does stay up, which is kind of the main thing. And then I am just going to put the new shelf bracket guys in for the new U-shaped shelf. This guy goes like that. This can continue moving up here. So now I've got this high up shelf, and I need to figure out how to put the last grow light on, aka attach it to the top. And I was thinking the best thing is probably these wall mounts from Mother. Basically, you get this little bracket thing and it attaches to the grow light. The grow light's like this, and then you can screw this into the ceiling or the wall or whatever you're drilling into. I'm not gonna drill into my cabinet, but they also come with these little guys, little 3M stickies, and adhesive isn't my favorite. I feel like long-term magnets would probably be a better shout, just because it would hold everything in a little bit better, I think. But I think it should be okay with these for now. I think it's got to be. That's kind of my only option. So yeah, so maybe in the future I can figure out a way to glue a magnet here, and then we can magnet, because this is magnetic. That's how my fans fit in. It's quite nice that it's magnetic, but I think for the time being on this one, just the stickies will be fine. I don't know if they're like rated for moisture and heat. That's the only thing that's got me like a little bit like questioning. So I was thinking this one, I wanted to be like kind of at the front and point that way. So it's pointing, so the light is kind of at a 45 degree. So ideally, I'd be able to put 2 in here. I could put 1 here pointing at that shelf and then 1 at the front, but I just don't have the plug space for that. I can look online to see if there's a better plug option. That's probably a good idea for me to do. But if I, for now, just put one of these like that, I think it will do nicely. So the wall mounts don't naturally come, or like automatically come with the lights. You do have to buy them separately, but If you are planning on mounting them to the wall or the ceiling, I think they are a good investment. I have actually some with just the stickies stuck to my ceiling because I don't want to drill into my ceiling because it's got asbestos. The sticky has stuck perfectly fine, and I also have another one that I've screwed into a beam which doesn't have asbestos in it, and so it's kind of like screwed into the wall, and obviously the screws have stuck and it's just been there permanently and has been absolutely fine like that. Like that. Because this is going to want to come out here anyway. So get it approximately centered, and I can stick her up. Honestly, I don't think it'll have any issues holding, but like, it's like a just in case kind of thing. I don't want to assume, because it wouldn't be bad, but it wouldn't be great. So take that out, and then just for sake of testing, fabulous. Actually, I quite like that. I can still like slightly adjust it, because I didn't screw the screws fully tight, so I can adjust it. I do think, yeah, I think I would love to have two in here just for the brightness level. I think my plants would do a little bit better if I could have two, because then I could have this one pointing slightly more downwards, so things under here would get light. Definitely lots to consider. So, cool. I'm really happy with that, and I have so much more space for small things, which is like kind of the majority of what goes in my cabinet is small things. Okay, so everything is plugged in now, and I am just going to stick this to the side of my cabinet here. I have command Velcro on this and on back here, and it just lives stuck on that forever, just for the sake of not pulling that down. Okay, so now all of these wires can just live around the side. It's not ideal. I think long run, I would definitely prefer, I suppose, eventually to either drill into the top or the bottom of the cabinet. But for now, this is fine. And the good thing about the mother grow light wires is they are quite thin. So I'm not really worried about them having any issues in the door here when I put it back on. So let's pop this on. Ha ha! Oh my gosh, it's so bright. That looks so good. I love this. I just had a quick look on Amazon, and I was able to find a 4-gang smart power strip with USBs. So I bought that, as well as some magnets. And so once that arrives, I'll be able to put the second grow light on the top and stick them with magnets instead of with the stickies, because it just feels a little bit safer. I don't know why, but it does. So this should be perfect, but for now, let's put the plants back in. There are some things that just aren't gonna go back in, and I think that's okay. This is not my favorite currently, but I feel like it's kind of okay that it's not my favorite. I kind of always do this. I never like how things look the first way I put things back, because I tend to put things back the way they were or as close to the spot they were in before, and that's not always a vibe with a new setup. It's gonna take me a minute to like change some things around. Some things are definitely gonna have to come out of the cabinet. Some new things might go in the cabinet, and I will just find a better layout for things, but it takes a minute. It's never like right off the bat, you know? Let's turn her on though and see how it looks. Yep, are you not gonna turn on the top one? Oh, is the switch turned off? There we go. I do think it looks really nice like this, and like it's a lovely glow, that's for sure. Let me pop the doors back on, because that will kind of finalize things a little bit. This side is where I need to make sure things are right because of all the wires. But I think that should be good. Yeah. So I took a break for lunch and I mulled over some things in the cabinet, and I did decide to take a little bit more out. So it's looking not like sparse. Sparse isn't the right word. I think it's looking more how I would like it to look. It feels emptier compared to how it was, for sure, because there's fewer plants in there, but I can actually, again, see everything, which is kind of the whole point. I don't like when things kind of get pushed to the back and I can't see them anymore. And so having things a little bit more spread out is my ideal. And so I am really, really happy with how it has turned out. And I can't wait to get the second grow light in the top as well, because I think that's really gonna like full package this thing. So there we go. This is my new and improved IKEA greenhouse cabinet. I am obsessed with it. I think it looks so, so good. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and redoing it with me. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future, and subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to keep growing. Bye!